Hello, Johan. Could you please give an introduction about yourself?
Hey, Ruckus. My name is Johaan. I live in Washington State. I'm from the US. And over the last few months, I've made around $60,000 from the real world. And I've done this through primarily my AI automation agency. We've also been into social media marketing. We've done websites for people. So we've branched out a little bit over time. But I've
Mhm.
utilized my tech skills as well as my small team to be able to provide these services to all kinds of companies, ranging from photography studios to fitness trainers to other social media marketing agencies, getting them leads, getting them clients. And yeah, we've been jumping around. Me and my team have been essentially scaling over the last, I'd say, 2 months into these other services like SEO, website development, trying to get higher ticket clients using that. And then what I've been doing, just as a quick show of what exactly my path is, I've been putting this money into an app called Apollo. So this app is my long-term venture, and it's a software that provides help for students to learn faster, to learn more efficiently. And we have all these different AI tools there, and I'm using my AI skill even in this one. And over here, we also have a team, again, full of web developers, full of marketers, and they kind of interchange between both the agency as well as the software. And these guys have made really a great set of tools, great suite of features, and we're providing these for students to learn. A lot of these are free, and I'm kind of jumping between these two companies right now.
Okay, so a very solid introduction, a lot to dive into there. First question will be, since you said you got into AI automation, is that something post discovering the real world, or was it something you dabbled in before?
Yeah, so good question. Normally, I have been acclimated with AI, and I've also been pretty good with development in the past. I've made some apps before. I've even started the software before I joined. But when I really decided to monetize AI automation, when I decided to monetize no-code tools, that was through the campus. All this is available. All these tools, technically, you can search and find, but the real world makes it very easy for you to know exactly this is the tools that are useful. These are the tools that are best. And yeah, it made it pretty easy for me. Before, what I would do is I'd create apps, I would create services that would take a lot of time, and at the same time, it would cost a lot of money. Unlike AI automation, where there might be certain subscriptions you have to pay for, but ultimately, it is very cheap to start up, and then you just sell these to companies. You get pretty good at it while working with these companies, and it was kind of an approach that I haven't done in the past.
Mhm. I'd like to dive into that deeper. So you discovered AI automation. Sounds like you actually dived into it after the reward. What was the process there like for you? Did you spend some time actually learning it, and only then outreach? How did outreach go? And let's go with that for now.
Yeah, initially I started off making a lot of the demo builds. So I made demo builds for the main things, the voice calling agent, the customer service agent, the lead capture agent, all these agents that can be useful for businesses. You can go to them and say, hey, this will make you more money than you have to pay me. That's the essential goal. And once I got familiar with them, once I felt decent with the software, I played around with it. I tweaked a little bit. I tried some creative things. What I did was I created demos for real companies. I looked at real companies, created real demos for them. I recorded real videos and I put them out. And those videos itself didn't get much traction, but the idea of creating real demos for real clients was good. I got to send these out to those clients. A lot of them responded with feedback, a lot of them didn't. By the way, I got better because I got practice, got better because I got feedback, and I knew what real companies needed. So then in the future, when I did outreach, and there is a thing called System 3. So this is with automated lead generation. This is part of the AI campus. So I did this and I got a first positive reply and I got an appointment booked. And with this appointment, I was able to talk to her and I would convey the confidence that I had the ability to make her a bill that can make her more money than she'd spend. And once I could really convey that to her, once I could show her that she won't be able to, because she had a problem with budget basically. She had a problem. She said she didn't have the budget to do this. She didn't have the budget to buy a lead capture and customer service agent. And I was telling her, and this is what convinced her, that it's a chicken and egg problem. Without buying the service, without getting a lead capture agent, she's keeping conversion rate low. And the only way to increase the conversion rate and to increase her budget is to get something like a lead capture agent. So she's never going to be able to afford anything like this if she doesn't go with me, essentially. And it's a chicken egg problem. The only way to do it, the only way to get out is through me. When I posted like that, she paid on the call itself. So that felt really good. It was the first paycheck for $700. And from there onwards, it was just, just kept going.
Mhm.
And no, sorry, go ahead.
Uh, I was going to ask you to continue. So if you're continuing
All
on
right,
that,
yeah.
then feel free to.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so right after that, what happened was I took that connection. I made sure to deliver for her. I got referrals from her. Continue to do System 3, continue to do outreach. And I've done a lot of different forms of outreach. So automated outreach is one of them. Instagram DMs have worked really well for me. I have me as well as another two people cold calling, seeing what we can get traction with that. So it's like it's really a team of different people, a team of different partners, and yeah, we're operating using different outreach methods and using referrals, using continuing to do outreach. We bring in these clients. Now we're slowly transitioning to more higher ticket clients, but initially it was anyone and everyone. Even if you just started out doing business, even if it's someone who had no revenue, like, okay, we'll help you scale, we'll help you start off. And we'd either build our social media presence or we'll build them automations. And yeah, that's where we took it.
Amazing. What does higher ticket clients involve? Like, is it different services, or are you purely just charging higher for the same services?
Yeah, it's usually just slightly more complex services. Like rather than just providing lead capture agent, it might be lead capture plus CRM integration plus product recommendation. So it's a little bit more complex usually because the bigger businesses are more complex. Like insurance companies are a lot more complicated than fitness trainers as a business. Or even if you're doing outreach, how do we plug it into their CRM? How do we provide them all the details that are necessary? Or a lot of these higher ticket clients have higher ticket offers. So maybe it needs to be a slightly different approach when it comes to their own outreach because we offer like auto IGDM services, which are Instagram outreach services. We also offer the email outreach services. So both of these, we're selling on the part of them. And if we don't know how to exactly sell it, if we don't know the service properly, that doesn't really work. So when they come to us, we study what they need, we study what their target market needs, and then we sell accordingly. And that's obviously a little bit different from people like fitness trainers and see smaller businesses, which also the paycheck is lower, obviously.
Mhm. Okay. And you mentioned during the introduction photography, fitness. I think some other examples you gave. So, what was it like actually switching niche? Did the Was everything similar in a way, or looking back on it, what kind of advice would you give people to stick to one
Mm.
niche, or is it okay to actually switch around because of what AI automation actually provides?
Yeah, well, I think for me it wasn't that noticeable, and that's the whole thing. When you move from niche to niche, ultimately there are businesses that need to be profitable, that need to make more money, that you need to show them that you can offer them value by getting them more leads, more clients, more customers. That's every business, so that stays the same. The difference is that you don't know their target market's pain points and you don't know exactly their business's problems. And it's okay when you're trying to offer in the beginning. And I think initially what you should do is you should reach out to a wide net of people. You should try everyone and everyone. Just maybe choose 10 niches, right? Choose a bunch of niches, try outreach for each thing, test each thing. Once you land some clients, once you start making some money, decide who do you want to keep working with? Which kind of clients do you want to keep working with? What's your ideal client? Which pain points are you most familiar with? Which pain points do you feel like you can tackle? Now double down on that. That's what I would do. I still got to do the double downing part. I still have to go a little more into that. But I'm leaning towards like 2 to 3 niches right now. Maybe like fitness trainers, maybe other social media marketing agencies, maybe like construction companies. But I'm really playing around with like 10, 15 niches. So I'll niche down eventually. The point is right now I do have a team and I have worked with a lot of these niches before. So I wouldn't say I'm not familiar with the target market of any of them because I've been forced to. But as a whole, I'd say if you want to fast track it, if you want to save your time, yeah, you should probably niche down after a point. Maybe 2 to 3 clients, you should probably niche down.
Makes sense. Since you mentioned you built a team, what was the
Yeah.
process there like? At what point did you employ your first person? For
Hmm.
what reason? And yeah, how did that evolve since?
Yeah. So it's kind of actually dynamic. So on the side of Apollo, on the side of the app, it was a little bit more of hiring people. It was a little bit more like that. So I had developers. I found them through GitHub. I found good developers. And then I contacted them, got in contact, interviewed like maybe 10, 15 people, got around 3 developers from there. So, just paying them monthly. But then when it comes to the marketing side of things, it was me, it was the rest of the team previous doing it, which is my agency, which is my social media marketing as well as AI automation agency. And then for the AI product side of Apollo, it was me. Apollo being the software, it was me as well as my close friend. So over there wasn't too much hiring, I would say. For my agency, however, rather than hiring, it's more, it operates as partners. So we have a lot of content creators. We have 4 content creators that come in and out. So it's not like they're just doing stuff for us; they're doing stuff for other agencies as well. But when we have a job, we give it to them. We split the profits accordingly. We also have salesmen. Again, we split the profits accordingly. We have editors, split the profits accordingly. Social media, marketers, and that's kind of how we operate. We thought that's a lot better because that way we're able to find really talented people, really hard workers, people from the real world. A lot of times they don't want to be an employee, and I completely understand that. So operating as a partner allows them to work at a growing agency, allows them to see how it works, allows them to keep share of profits. And in the future, if they ever want to, take that to their own agency, if they ever want to build their own thing, they can do that. But most of the time, even with this, they get to share their own profits. They got to be under the umbrella of Previous. So we've seen that works best in their interest as well as ours, rather than just paying them a monthly fee.
Mhm. Makes sense. Very cool. And then, at what point did you get into social media marketing, website design, and what was the idea behind that into actually getting into it? Like, why?
Yeah, the idea behind that was we had the skill set. So I started off with the automation, but my brother has the skill set of social media marketing. I also used to run a social media marketing agency just like a year and a half ago. So we had these skills. Additionally, we knew people are editors because we needed editing for Apollo. So we had these people as well. And we knew people that were learning editing. And then one of my friends also knew web development, new web design. So we had this suite of skills essentially around us, and they were part of the company or they're working for the other company. So it almost felt like a waste to not use it, and a lot of our clients needed it. We could go to our clients and say, hey, we've gotten you these clients through auto IGDM or through internal marketing, through whatever, right? And we can say, now, if you want to increase conversion, we've gotten a lot of leads on your website. But if you really want to increase conversion, if you want to take the next step, I think we need to change a lot of the copy in your website. If you want to change this, this, and that, we should improve SEO as well. We can do this for you for pretty cheap, man. If we come to them with that approach, since they already trust us, it's very easy to sell, and it's very unlikely that they'll say no. They might hold off on it for a little bit, and if we have the people to actually fulfill that service, they'll only see us more as a problem solver. They'll only get even more reliant on us, making that us, over time, making more money. So that was the goal.
Makes sense. So, with the trajectory you're on and everything you're building, what plans do you have for the future if you were to split it up into short term, medium term, and long term?
Okay, good question. So I guess in the short term, I would just be scaling this. I would continue to get out more clients for Previous. We want bigger clients again, niching down slowly. And then when it comes to Apollo, I would say we need to do a full scale release of the app. It's still kind of in beta, so full scale release of the app. In medium term, I want all the 6 features or 5 features out for Apollo. So these are going to be all the full suite of tools. And I want to reach that like 2,000, 3,000 user mark. And then maybe in long term for Apollo, we want to raise funding. We want to get funding. We want to get like VC, venture capital for the app. And then when it comes to Previous, medium term and long term, I would say we get hit around 30K a month in the medium term and maybe like 100K a month in the long term. But I want to do that with systems. I want to do that in an efficient way. I don't want to just be sitting the entire day getting work done. I'm still in college. I'm still 17.
Mm.
Spending as much time as possible. I can do this, but at the same time, I need to make sure I implement the right systems to make sure I grow in a way that's still sustainable. Because I've seen a lot of other agencies. They grow really fast, 60, 70K a month. And then because once they get some traction, they just scale it. They just spend more time, get higher ticket clients, and they just scale it. But then since the right systems are in there, they completely burn out. I don't think burnout's super real, but at the same time, I just don't see a point in saving that extra month or two of scaling and then just for it to be temporary. I'd rather take the extra month, take the extra 2 months, build the right systems, and then have a permanent income.
Completely makes sense. And I didn't realize you were 17. So, doing
Yeah,
super well at 17.
thank you. Yeah.
Uh, where would you say your mindset comes from at that age?
Yeah, I think a lot of it obviously comes from Tate. A lot of it comes from listening to him, listening to his emergency meetings, things like that. But a lot of it I was born with, I think, as well, because I always used to do this in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. I used to, even when I was younger, I used to like start random businesses. I would go, I would shovel snow, and I would start a candy business at school, and I started like 3 or 4 apps then. So that was just kind of a thing. the problem was I didn't find the perfect way to channel it until the real world, or until I would say like a year before the real world. But the real world made it a lot easier. So that's kind of where. But I would say and now I have a good circle, so that helps me maintain that. I have a circle of people that think like me. So it's hard for me not to get out of the state of having drive at this point.
Makes sense. Super cool. Is there more to add about Apollo? Because you mentioned 5 or 6 features from it. So
Yeah.
do you have more to explain about that?
Yeah. So Apollo, essentially, what we have here is a suite of tools to help suit their studying. So we have the current feature that's out is the test planner. So the test planner, you input some of your details, you input when the test is, you input what the test is about and things like that. It also takes information on you as a student. So when you do the onboarding process, you have to put like, hey, this is how much effort I put, this is how busy I am on Monday, this is how busy I am on Tuesday. It takes all that information, puts it into our custom AI model that's fine-tuned and self-hosted. It's pretty expensive. That's why we have to fund it with the agency. If he takes all those information, generates a completely customized test plan for you, and then what using the test plan, you have checkboxes, you have subtasks, you have resources, you have an outline, you have all this information you need, everything you could ever hope for in terms of studying efficiently for a test. And this is one of them you can do. You can generate multiple of free per day, and then we also have other features in the works. Like one of them is calendar. It estimates how much time each assignment takes. So that way it spaces it out. We have another one, and these are all built. We just haven't built them for the website yet. We just haven't released them yet. We know they work. We have them. And then other one's a grader. So you put in your assignment, you put in your instructions, you'd put in the rubric, as well as you'd put in other information on the thing, like how hard the teacher grades it. And then it generates for you the grade. It generates, hey, this is what you need to improve. This is what's good. This is what's bad. And again, if you miss anything on the rubric, that's not a problem anymore. If you think you got anything wrong, it's not a problem anymore. As long as you put it enough times, or as long as you correct all the issues, that's 100% every time. So these are the features that me as a student would find useful, and that's why we developed it. We also have 3 more, but you get the general gist of kind of what these features look like.
Yeah, that's as I'm listening, I'm thinking, is this just something you realized you could use for yourself and then just made into an app? I
Yeah,
would be
pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
and it's optimizing your time very well, so you can continue scaling any other businesses you want to. And it sounds
that's
like, yeah,
right.
you have so much going on, but it's because of how efficiently you've structured everything and the systems you
Yeah.
implement. So yeah, very cool. What do your parents think about what you're doing?
Yeah, my parents don't know yet, so I gotta tell them soon. They know about the
Mm,
app, they're aware. I gotta tell them about the agency and everything soon. So yeah, that's gonna be a little tough. I'll probably tell them in a month or so. So
tough. Why? Is it because they want you to go the college route, not the
yeah,
entrepreneur?
yeah. Well, I used to tell them all the time. It's the thing. I used to tell everyone all the time. But what I learned was that when you tell people, there's 2 things. One, they have an expectation of you. So now, if you fail, now there's a problem. You can't take as much risks. There's that. And then also other people, they'll always like compliment you. They'll always see you as that guy, and then you'll almost feel fulfilled for that reason. And now you no longer have to make the achievement of actually making money. So it's like it's a kind of a risk you're taking there. Additionally, when you tell our parents and things like that, they're always kind of risk averse because they care about you. So they're risk averse. But at the same time, as a man, as a young man especially, you have to take risks. If you don't take risks, you're kind of you're screwing yourself. So I just thought it was just like a wise decision. After a point, I decided maybe like 2 years ago. I was like, okay, if I start something from now onwards, there's no need to bring my parents into all this. It's just increasing their heart rate for no reason. So that was the reasoning behind it.
Good. Very fair.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Is there any more to say about how the real world contributed to anything you're doing, or would you say you've covered
Yeah,
it
I would
already?
say like okay, I pretty much there's the lessons obviously, which for in AI automation especially is super useful because again these tools you wouldn't be able to locate the perfect tools necessary. It would take a lot of time. It would take a lot of testing. They do that for you, right? Workshops obviously, but when I look at the real world as a whole, the live calls in every single campus are something that's kind of unmatched because every day you get to tune into people that are successful, people that are successful within your industry, people that are rich, and they give you advice, they give you direct advice, they tell you how they did it, and they're still within the field. And all you have to pay is $50 a month to get it from every single expert in every campus, which includes every easy way to make money. So, like, I'm in the crypto investing campus, I'm in the social media marketing campus, and I'm in the AI automation campus. And I see how all these have like their own different styles, but the live calls in each of them, the way that they're able to, convey value every single day to the students, as well as the community. A lot of the partners that I got are from the real world, are people DMing me saying, hey, I can drive you sales, I can get you calls, and if I do that for you, can we keep a percentage? I'm like, you know what? Why not? That doesn't hurt me. There's no risk for it to me. And then we work together, and I find a lot of these are great people. And this is how we've operated. I did a podcast call with the Pope around 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And the Pope is a professor for the AI automation and CCAI campus. During this podcast, I said, hey, I'm trying to scale Apollo. I'm trying to build this up. We just started. So with Apollo, we want to create content. We want to edit content. And I was saying, hey, if there's any editors, feel free to reach out. We need more editors. We need a marketing team. And I got so many DMs saying, hey, if you can prove this to you, I can prove this to you. Tested them all out, got to see a bunch of cool editors, got to meet a bunch of new guys. You can't get that in any other community with that much quality. A lot of these guys are honestly just amazing.
Awesome. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. We can wrap up with a final question. So, since you've had such a positive experience with the real world, what advice do you have to people who are thinking, what if I get scammed for $50? So I'm not sure if I should join.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with being risk averse, right? You have to be able to take the risks to essentially guarantee your success. When you're on AI automation, you're paying for a bunch of different subscriptions. Maybe it won't work out. Maybe you don't know it's perfect. Maybe you won't get a client this month. There's always going to be a risk. If you're coming with a mindset in business of, if I take a risk, I'll fail. If you're coming to business with that mindset, even if you don't go to the real world, even if the real world was a scam, you would fail. The point is, if you come to business and for some reason you know all the knowledge of the real world, you don't sign up to the real world. It's free. You don't have to worry about that. You come in and now you're coming at copywriting. If you still have that mindset, the idea that risks are bad or that you can't take risks, especially small ones, then you're not going to make money anyways. So I think it's more of a filter to see who's okay with taking risks, okay with putting down some investments and investing in themselves.
Well said.
Yeah,
Indeed. All right. So, Johan, was that right?
that's
Johan.
right. That's right.
For people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
Yeah. So for my agency, again, if you're a company who needs help scaling, or if you just want advice or whatever, you can book a call with me. It's on praevius.co, praevius.co. Additionally, you can also head to the app Apollo. If you're a student, if you want to save your time so you get more time to spend on business, you can go to apolloapp.co. So these are the two things that I'm kind of taking care of. So feel free to watch out for me anywhere there.
Cool. We'll add those to the description of the video. So yeah, anyone who's interested, check that. And man, you're doing very well for a 17-year-old. 60K already. Uh, two things you're working on. Well, two main things, even branching further now. So much potential, so much in the pipeline, so many opportunities with the trajectory you're on. I mean, in another year's time, it's going to be insane as long as you
Yeah,
continue doing. Yeah, who knows? Like the
exactly.
sky's the limit. But I mean, saying the sky's the limit puts a limit on it. So I don't know. Whatever, there's no
Yeah.
limit. There you go. So yeah, amazing speaking to you. Thank you for sharing all your experiences and insights, and can do a follow up some point in future.
All right. It's awesome. Yeah, it was great talking to you. Yeah. Thank you for this.